Hi, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about genetics and more so on that topic of why you shouldn't let your genetics play a role in how you view yourself or your training mindset. This is going to be geared more towards athletic ability, but I feel like this can apply to a lot of things in life. But more so an athletic ability for anybody that's, wanting to start a fitness type of journey. Basically, it all just kind of started when my anatomy professor today, we were learning about the different types of muscle fibers, and basically, I don't want to get into like the anatomy behind it all, but you have different types of muscle fibers that make up your muscles. Some are better for, generic, just very low energy usage, like the muscles that you use to hold yourself up, and then there's or the muscle fibers rather that that you use to hold yourself up, and then there's muscle fibers that you use for like fast explosive movements that take longer to recover, things like that. And basically all of our muscles have all these fibers in them, but depending on your genetics, some people have more than one type of muscle fiber than another in their muscles. So someone who is like a marathon runner or, extreme endurance athlete is going to have some of those, more of those slower fibers that, don't use up a lot of, they don't take a lot of energy and they can replenish energy quickly, more or less. And someone who's like a bodybuilder or powerlifter or something is going to have those like explosive fibers that take longer to recover, but, they can produce a lot of energy. But basically what he said really kind of irked me, and I didn't like it at all. What he basically said boiled down to is, pick what you can do best and, only do that. Don't try to do other things because you're just going to get frustrated and you're not going to be happy with, the results, which I kind of get what he was saying in the sense that, like, sure, find what you excel at and then do it. That's generally pretty good advice, I would say. But don't let your genetics be an excuse for you to just not even try. Because I feel like we all make excuses on why we can't do the things we want, or we can't look a certain way, or we can't, just accomplish the goals we have set for ourselves. And especially in the fitness and like bodybuilding world, you'll see people that are like, "Oh, my genetics are just crap. I can't do this because I don't have good genetics for it." And I feel like a lot of people don't know the full potential of their genetics because they don't train and don't have enough discipline to actually fully test and see what their genetics are like capable of. So you gotta try, and you gotta put in the effort to even begin to see what your genetics can do, So don't let, because you think you might not have good genetics, don't let that be like a factor for you to say, "Oh, well, I don't have good genetics, so I'm not even going to try." Man, that's crap. You should always try your best and see. And if you find that you excel in a certain place, great. But if you find that you don't really excel or you seem to not excelling, just keep going and keep trying. Trying your best and pushing yourself to be the best version of yourself is pretty much what is important and what it boils down to. And let's say that, you're someone like me who I've always been heavier. I've never I never desired before this to really be any kind of endurance athlete, or I never really tried to, push myself in a running or other aerobic sense, because I was always like, "Oh, well, I'm just kind of big and stocky, so I'm just going to lift weights and never really try anything else." But I'm going and pushing myself and doing, these things that I didn't think I could do, and I'm getting better at them, and I'm not letting my genetics, play that role of "Oh, well, I might not have great genetics for this. I'm not even going to bother with it." Because am I going to be a world-class Olympic level marathon runner? Probably not. Am I gonna be the next Mr. Olympia? Probably not. But am I still gonna go out there and run and train and get the best looking physique that I can obtain and run the fastest I can and, run for the longest distance I can? Yeah, you bet, because I want to be a better version of myself and be better than the person I was yesterday. So I guess that's all I'm really trying to say, is the message that it kind of boils down to is, just because you think that you can't do something because you've kind of bought into this idea that you need to have like perfect genetics, or like you need to only do what your genetics say you can do, I think that's just a load of crap. And I think that people should, do the things they enjoy. And if your genetics, you're not blessed with like elite runner genetics or elite lifting genetics or elite swimmer genetics or, X genetics, like, you should still try and you should still do those things. And if you enjoy them and you are having a good time and you're becoming healthier and you're doing, in making like gains, even if they're small gains, like, that's a win and that's awesome. So keep trying, especially, if you're kind of like in my boat, and you think like, oh, like I want to look a certain way or do certain activities, but my genetics, like, they're not lined up for, like, you don't know that until you really, really try. So that's pretty much it. What my professor said today just kind of made me upset, so I just wanted to make a video about it. So I did. Yeah. But at least I got a pretty decent grade on my anatomy lab midterm. So got an 88, which is not exactly what I wanted, but I still have an A in the class, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, thanks for watching. Go out there, train, get strong, get fast, become endurance, train for endurance, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless. Take care.